Myself, Shakuntala.
Shakuntala Devi will ever forget that sort of experience. Because either she would have said something politically incorrect, or she would have made them laugh, or she would have amazed them with something.
How do you do it? 923.
How are you doing this?
How? 2773730.
I was like, okay, I can't take more anecdotes because where am I going to, I need like 5 seasons to capture the life of this woman. I don't think we have caught up with Shakuntala Devi yet.
Correct.
What is the cube root of 9261? 21. Okay, I did not just calculate it inside my head, but I googled it right before this. But Shakuntala Devi could have answered it so well. In fact, she's somebody who found the cube root of 61,629,875 without the help of a calculator. Also, she found the 23rd root of a 201 digit long number in just 50 seconds. Also called the human computer, a Vidya Balan starrer film on Shakuntala Devi's life is all set to be released. Today we are going to talk to the film's director Menon, who is going to tell us a little bit about the life of Shakuntala Devi.
What was the inspiration to pick Shakuntala Devi as a protagonist here?
I think it started with, I always wanted to talk about, different kind of women on screen. And I think at that time, I felt that we never see women, in science and in maths. And I had, my daughter once told me, boys like maths and girls like English. And that really stung to me. And I was like, we should show how, women can do maths as much as men. And then I said, yeah, maybe, I should find out about Shakuntala Devi, because I remember as a child, being sort of impressed with her. And that's how it started. And we found Shakuntala Devi's daughter, Anupama Banerjee, who lives in London. I also live in London. So we had a meeting, and the story began from there.
How relevant do you think Shakuntala Devi's life is right now in the current day and age?
I mean, more than ever, because she was a woman who lived life to the fullest. She was the one who had her ups and downs. She had amazing successes. She had failures. She had, loves lost. She had, the good, bad, but she embraced it all. And, she loved life, and she felt, she was not afraid to, own it. And I think in today's day and age, we're all kind of vulnerable. There is just so much happening around us. I think it's a very important message that things might not be perfect all the time, but then always put your best foot forward. And that's what she did. She always woke up, wore her lipstick, put her best sari on, and she was on to do something or the other. And she lived. I mean, she did, so many kinds of things. And I think it's a very beautiful message in today's times.
How old were you when you first heard of Shakuntala Devi?
I can't exactly remember. I also, yeah, I do belong to a slightly different generation. So I cannot. And I keep thinking about when was the first time I read about her. But I think it's just been there. I have never, she has never come to my school or anything, because a lot of my friends have written to me that how she visited their school. I can't consciously remember when did I first know, but I think when I decided to do a film about a woman, and about a women and maths, the first name that came to me was Shakuntala. So I think it's just part of our growing up. It's like, I think, yeah.
And was mathematics ever your favorite subject, or were you really scared of math or you'd run away from
So I'm a South Indian and I grew up in Delhi. So I mean, as a South Indian family, like the maths is not something like you can escape. I think I was never not good. I was perfectly okay. I went to BITS Pilani, and I did the tick marks. I I don't think I enjoyed maths, and I wish I had. And that is something I really like. I mean, now living life, vicariously through my daughter. I really enjoy maths. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had. It was not something so scary, and it was not something that was so far removed. I felt like increasingly, I think in my university days and stuff, I was quite switched off, and I really feel bad about that.
I'm sure that an immense amount of research went behind in actually making this film. So could you quickly walk us through the timeline of when the idea actually originated? How
I,
much time did
I
it
think
take?
that so we met Anupama Banerjee in 2016, and we started shooting the film in 2019. So it's pretty much like 3 years of spending a lot of time with her, like repeated meetings, finding. I think, as I was just explaining to somebody that you're trying to capture a person's life in 2 hours, which is quite impossible. Especially a woman like Shakuntala Devi, who has lived the lives of 10 people, done things that any normal human being can't do in that span of time. So we had to pick and choose what aspects of that life, of her life, actually a capture her the best, and b gives out that message, or that resonates with the world we live in today. So I think it required a lot of, I mean, if we there was independent research, we read up a lot of all kind of articles, things she has done, a lot of her performances, a lot of her videos. Of course, a lot of her videos and stuff are from when she's in her 60s and 70s. There's not that much material, obviously, in her film, but we still found a lot of articles, in the Times, and I mean, it's just amazing. It's international news, like international magazines and stuff we found. So I think we collated all the hard data that we found with the emotional layered stuff that we found through our many discussions with Shakuntala's daughter, and I think we merged together to form this narrative.
We've heard about a lot of stories about Shakuntala Devi, because we know that she found the 23rd root of a 201 digit
Digit
long
number.
number
Yeah,
in 50 seconds. And in the 70s, she wrote a book about homosexuality.
yeah,
She
yeah.
traveled so much. And obviously, we are going to watch the film, no doubts about it. But could you tell us a few anecdotes about her that actually struck you and surprised or baffled you?
I think what I love the most is her razor sharp humor. I mean, it's her one-liners. I mean, people like us, we are script writers, and we take so long. Fatak. If somebody asked her something, like, I'll tell you some of the dialogue. Somebody said, "So how does it feel like to be a female, mathematician?" She said, "So how does it feel like to be a male journalist?" So like she would just have these repartees and that sense of humor. She would it's and that like and we found a lot of her interviews are always fun, like just like our Vidya Balan. There was always, she knew how to play to the galleries. She was a performer. And I think a lot of these stories where people have kind of met her, and you expect a mathematician to be serious, you expect her to be kind of a bit withdrawn and introvert, but she was the opposite of that. I don't think anyone who has met Shakuntala Devi will ever forget that sort of experience, because either she would have said something politically incorrect, or she would have made them laugh, or she would have amazed them with something. So in fact, after a point, I was like, okay, I can't take more anecdotes, because where am I going to, I need like 5 seasons to capture the life of this woman.
You would have definitely loved to meet her if she'd been alive in 2020.
Yes. I think I don't think we have caught up with Shakuntala Devi yet. I think she was so ahead of her times. And because, she has the courage to listen to her inner voice. And just follow that. She did not follow any trend. She did not do something because everybody else was doing. She just did what came to her. And that kind of person is always ahead of her time. So I think she would, I always imagine, we were laughing the other day that how she would be on Twitter. I think she would give people a run for their money.
Was Vidya Balan the first choice that came to your mind?
Yeah,
when you
only
thought about
choice.
The character?
Only choice.
Okay.
Only choice. I think if Vidya didn't do the film, I don't think this film would have got made. Yeah. It's very clear, very simple. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us today. And we're really excited to watch the film.
Do watch it.
All the best.
Do watch it, yeah, and tell us what you think.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye.
Do feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.